reporting for the Midwest Energy Association. It's my pleasure to have a discussion here with Dan Perdue. Dan is the training coordinator for Local 32, the Plumbers and Pipefitters, in the broad Seattle, Tacoma, Puget Sound area. Dan, tell us a little bit about the union and the relationship with Puget Sound Energy.
Sure. Puget Sound Energy, formerly Washington Natural Gas, and Puget Sound Power and Light merged in 1997 and formed one company to handle both gas and electric. And in 2002, they decided to transition most of the training done for the utility, especially on the gas operations side, into a training trust, which is a cooperative organization between Puget Sound Energy and Local 32, which is the local of the United Association of Plumbers and Pipefitters, and that's based in Renton, Washington. Puget Sound Energy is based in Bellevue, Washington, all in the greater Seattle area. And so that's where we got to the training trust that handles most of the training for.
So you're doing regular training for them, you're also doing OQ training, you're doing customer repair because the utility services appliances too?
Correct. Yeah, right now I'm in the middle of training what we call Customer Field Service School, which is our gas workers that have come through our program from new hires off the street or existing employees in other departments that wanted to come into gas operations. And we train them to be journeyman service technicians to actually go into residences and repair appliances, diagnose problems with appliances, do inside leakage investigation. They assist in outside leakage investigation. And they're also second responders a lot of times on broken services or outside odor investigations that escalate to where we might need monitoring of surrounding premises. We also train journeyman pipe fitters, which are we outsource a lot to contractors as far as our new installation of plastic pipe and steel pipe in the ground. They don't do much of that at all anymore. What they do is respond to emergencies with pipe that's in the ground and odor complaints outside. So, and then we also have our corrosion department, which we have another trainer there that deals, he was hired specifically to deal with that. And then we also have our pressure control department that we train. So we train pretty much all of gas operations for Puget Sound Energy through the training trust.
Well, tell me a little bit about the Energy Association and EnergyU. I know you're using some of the learning modules, you know, to help in that training arena. I also know that you're customizing and creating some new ones using the system.
Yeah, we use EnergyU to administer a lot of the MEA courses, the 192 courses. We also do quite a bit of modification on the 192 courses through Content Creator, which we're hopefully going to be spending more time in.
And that's a feature that's built in. So if you use the EnergyU program, you get Content Creator as part of that, and training to help you modify and create new courses.
Correct. Yeah, and then we also use we've transitioned from the old CERCplus into the new database, which is CERCplus. And our administrator handles most of the work in there. She occasionally lets me dabble into it, but most of the time I defer to her. So.
Okay, and that's a database program that tracks each employee, what qualifications they have, when they need to be requalified, that kind of thing? That's correct,
yeah. And we can pull reports out of there. It'll give us information on who's qualified, when their new requals are coming up. And she designed that specifically for task-based on job classification. So we know if so-and-so is a fitter, we can pull up a report that says they need to be qualified in all these tasks. She can also pull up their current qualifications and be able to determine whether they are qualified in those, when their requalification dates will come up, and so on.
Well, as I remember it, the new version, the CERCplus, has this training tracker in it too. Are you using that for the classroom stuff?
We do. We use Training Tracker, and that was actually fairly easy software to get used to. The CERC, we ran into a few issues that we're working through, but I think as we become more familiar with it, it's becoming easier to deal with. The Training Tracker is a great feature that is kind of married along with CERC, and what we do there is we're able to keep attendance. We used to do manual written logs where the employees would sign in. Now we actually have them come in with an ID and they scan into the roster, and they can get credit for it. It helps us to track who's there. It helps us to track, as we're entering the validation screen in Training Tracker, we can track how many hours were spent, down to a quarter hour on each specific task that we did that day. Some days when we have OQ going on, there might be 10, 12, 18, I think is our record for tasks in one day that one group of employees is going to get when you get down to the training portion, the knowledge test portion, and the performance evaluation portion.
I know you guys are strong on doing the hands-on piece, so are you using the EnergyU courses as kind of a prerequisite for guys to get ready for the hands-on, or how are you using them?
We have used some of the EnergyU courses as a prerequisite. We've used some of the old Midwest Gas Association yellow books that some people are familiar with. I've actually taken material out of those books and put it into EnergyU courses so that we can use those not only as a precursor to come into the classroom for training, but also as refresher for our existing journeymen for non-OQ tasks, such as venting of appliances, combustion and ventilation air is another one. Gas air adjustment is one that I just finished or in the process of finishing. And then carbon monoxide is another one that we didn't use the 192. I don't believe there is a 192 course for that anymore. That's another yellow book one that I'm going to adapt to Puget Sound Energy's standards once I get back and am able to work on them.
They were really, and I go back to the early days of creating those workbooks and videos and all the rest. That was based on really a Missouri and Kansas requirement that went into effect before the federal standards went into effect. They were available 5 or 6 years before the first OQ rule, and now of course we got the B31Q as well. So it's interesting that you found, you know, the tasks don't match because the rule changed. So it's interesting that you're able to use that. What kind of courses are you creating for yourself utilizing the content creator program?
The courses that I've been most successful with in utilizing is taking a post-assessment type setup and developing tests in the post-assessment type setup. And what that does for me is I can write a test, put it into EnergyU. Our employees, all our journeyman employees have laptops, and our gas workers, once they hit a certain point in their maturity through their training, get laptops. They can bring their laptops into class. They can take these tests online, and I get instant results whether they've passed or failed, as well as the student.
Okay,
and it also makes it easier on me because I don't have to go through and grade a 100-question exam every test. If I have 15 students, to grade 100-question exams for 15 students takes quite a bit of time. With the EnergyU site and having the test on there, it's not required that I do that. Also, with the one of the features I really like on there is looking at a scores by question. I can say if I have 15 students, and let's say I want to find out, you know, how many people missed a certain question to maybe check the validity of the question, I can pull up that report, and if 5 of my 15 students got it right and 10 of them missed it, then that gives me cause to look at that question and determine whether maybe that wasn't worded right, maybe it wasn't a fair question. Also, it validates all the other questions. If 13 out of the 15 people got this question and all 13 got it right, then I can say, well, maybe that was too easy, and we can use it that way.
Overall, in a year, how many different people would go through, you know, your training facility? How many folks?
Wow. There's 360 gas operations folks at Puget Sound Energy.
Wow.
We also train a couple of the local smaller municipalities that have their own gas companies. And then we also have all our contractors that come through. Wow. So I'm not sure of the firm number, but we're well over 400 people.
Okay,
well over 400 people.
Well, congratulations on a great program.
Thank you.
You're somewhat unique in the United States, and we wanted to highlight that in case there are other trusts and partnerships that can be formed between the union and the local utilities and the contractors. So again, thanks very much for
being here. Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate
it. And as a last thing, I'd like to say for all the companies out there looking at this and maybe interested, just be open to change and looking at doing other stuff.
Okay. Thanks.
You bet. Thank you.